All right. Let's get this show started. My name is Chris Netto. I am the Market Development Manager at Starin. I am your host for today's Logitech Town Hall. They are representing the May Town Hall that we are doing. This is a monthly series that we do for our integrator partners and a lot of our end users that come by and check it out. Today, I'm actually here with a bunch of people, more so than usual. I mean, typically for the people that have been on our calls, it's usually a one-on-one conversation and we get right to some questions and answers. Today, we have something a little different. We have the Logitech team here on hand, and that team is led by Michael Freiburn. Michael, hi, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet everybody virtually.
Virtually?
Virtually.
The last 18 months, man, that's all we've been doing. Doing all
life that. Virtually, yes. Work from home.
So you brought an entire team with you today to help you out. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your team, and let's get this going.
All right, great. So hello, everybody. I'm Mike Freiburn. I'm the National Account Manager, as you can see on there. My job and role primarily is I manage the entire Starin account within our distribution channel. So everything that goes on between processes and products and shipment, that is what I handle. With me is Gino Sahari. As you can see, he's Director of Alliances and Go-to-Market at Logitech, and Michele Perini, who's our Technical Solution Specialist. He is our major engineer. So to move this along, I'm going to turn this over to Gino, and he's going to give a deeper dive into our solutions for Zoom.
All right. Thank you, Michael. So as you mentioned, I'm Gino Zahari. I'm a Director of Alliances and Go-to-Market within Logitech's Video Collaboration Group, but I specifically look after Zoom. So Zoom is my partner that I look after sales, marketing, engineering. So we have lots of great answers for you if there are questions about integrations with Zoom that we can get to towards the end. If we look at Zoom in general, we've been working with them for probably, the last, 7 years or so. This is when they were in San Jose on Palo Alto Drive, and they had this concept about being more than just a video enabler. This was when we had the conference cam product line, which what we call all-in-one solutions with camera, mic, and speaker. So our Logitech Meetup, our Rally system, those are called conference cams. And they always connect back to a host PC over a single USB connection. Makes it really, really easy. As the platform started to grow and Zoom started to grow their service offering, we grew with them. And we became even very much more relevant beyond just a room system or a conference cam product, let's say in an open space where 3 or 4 people are sitting around, because we have webcams, we have keyboards, we have mice. So a lot of the things with Zoom, if you look at Zoom's strategy, it's all based around the Zoom wheel. All right, they offer a lot of different service lines, Zoom meetings and chat, right? Zoom phone, which is the big topic right now. And of course, Zoom rooms, which we'll get deeper into. The platform it just keeps growing, but it's really a unified communication platform today. And that's what we have to kind of think about it when we look at Zoom. Let's just go to this next one here. We call it wrapping the wheel. And so you're going to find a lot of options when it comes to Logitech in servicing the Zoom wheel. So much product, I can't list them all, right? So what we want to do today is kind of bucket or prioritize certain categories that you can focus on to service your Zoom clients with Logitech product. Zoom meetings, Zoom webinar, Zoom rooms, and Zoom phone are kind of the 4 primary categories. A lot of these products intermix, right? Because we go through a pretty deep certification process with Zoom. That just means that it's been certified. That means the audio levels, the camera optics, everything we're doing meets Zoom standards. When you receive that certification, and even with device control, such as HID, you've kind of achieved the next level so that we both know, right? The support at Zoom, our support team, your support team is able to work with the client to solve any issues, right? And there's kind of that triangle effect that happens. If we look at the Zoom meeting software, it's what we're using today to do the webinar in a sense. A lot of you are using your Zoom meeting client to join this webinar. It's really a simple choice, right? So we look at personas. Are you an active user? Do you need a wireless headset or do you need a wired headset because you're using, you're a programmer and you're listening to music when you're not on video, but you don't mind a cabled solution, right? Something that's flexible, meaning I want to walk around my space and talk to people. I want to use a speakerphone and a camera that can see my entire office. That's where the product Meetup comes into play. So we like to look at it as home personal and office personal, but of course, we're always using keyboards and mice to drive the Zoom experience. That's our bread and butter. It's what we know very well. It's what the IT directors know very well. They've been buying our products for years and they last forever, right? That same brand equity is something we want to carry forward through our entire solutions. And it makes it very easy for folks to standardize on a single solution. The Zoom phone experience is fairly unique in that our headsets, our Zone wired family, or excuse me, Zone family of products, are dual pairing, meaning I can pair with my mobile app on my Zoom application on my phone, but I can also pair it with my computer with our dongles that we provide. Right, that allows me now to walk into my office from the car where I'm on a Zoom phone call or I'm on a Zoom meeting call and actually sit down, and now I'm paired up with my computer where I want to resume that call. So it's a very, very clean experience. And again, our keyboards and mice come into play because you're dialing phone numbers with numbers, right? You're using the soft client for Zoom to drive that experience. When we get into the webinar world, and this is where Starin comes into play, there's so many options when it comes time to do, am I building a personal studio, a pro broadcast studio, or even something which might require more cameras. I want to switch between cameras. Logitech makes a family of products, and a lot of it's used with the Zoom meeting client or the Zoom Rooms client as well to produce a great webinar, right? Or using the Zoom webinar platform and using our tool set. So it's kind of a natural migration of what they bought for their personal use can be used for the broadcasting side. And then, of course, Zoom Rooms, which is where we have the most fun with Zoom, really addressing all spaces, right? All different shapes and sizes. There's really no definition now for a Zoom room, right? It's open collaboration spaces. If you want to put walls around that space and call it a small, medium, or large room, Logitech has a collection of solutions for you. It all started with the base bundle from Logitech, and you might see this where you find a Logitech Nook, which just runs Windows IoT. We actually created the image with Zoom, pre-installed it on an Intel Nook, and then we pair that with our controller called Tap. That solution then is bundled with either the Meetup camera, the Rally solution, right? There's Rally and Rally Plus to deal with small, medium, and large spaces. These systems are very configurable. There's extra mic pods to extend my microphone reaches, but it all starts with that base bundle. That's really the heartbeat of it. And that's where the innovation happened with Zoom, where we actually started not so much the appliance initiative, but said, let's make this very simple for folks to turn on that Nook and Zoom automatically opens up and runs, right? We're not layering in other applications. It's purpose-built to drive the Zoom Rooms experience from a PC perspective. Then, of course, we launched our appliances a few months ago. So now we're in the game of appliances. Zoom loves them because it's everything IT loves, right? Easy to buy, easy to procure, easier to install. And then users love it because it's simple, right? The whole Zoom experience is simple. So we have Rally Bar Mini, Rally Bar, and then Rally Plus, right? Those two modular systems I mentioned earlier that are tethered back to an upcoming product called Roommate, which is basically the Zoom Rooms application running in Android on a purpose-built compute. Right? And it's called Roommate. You don't see it pictured here, but you'll hear more about that this summer when it launches. So providing flexibility is always our mantra, right, at Logitech. If you have a Rally Bar, which just got launched, which has the Android chip inside running the Zoom Rooms client, you can still pair it to a PC. So if you have a Mac Mini installation out there or a bunch of PCs installed, you can simply plug our bars into that host compute source, and it will be a camera, mic, and speaker. Or you can run the Zoom Rooms application natively on the bar. All right, so just know that we provide choice even with the new family of appliances we just launched. So Zoom Rooms your way is the theme here. So if it's a Logitech appliance that the customers are looking for that simple appliance initiative that Zoom has underway, go for it. You're also going to find other PC OEMs that take our cameras, their PC, right, from Lenovo, Dell, and HP, and actually pre-install Zoom the way we did it on our Intel Nook. And then they wrap our cameras around their solutions as well. So you'll see different kits from different PC OEMs that offer real similar solutions, but leverage Logitech camera, mic, and speaker. And then, of course, what we like to call the market solutions, which are the classic Zoom Rooms, right? All of those older Mac-based or Mac Mini-based solutions out there, Logitech is a plug-and-play source for those devices. And then last but not least, Zoom Rooms for touch. As we know, if we download Zoom Rooms onto any host PC, it can be as Zoom Rooms for touch play, right? So all we need to do now is add a interactive touch screen with our Rally Bar product, and off we go. In fact, with the Rally Bar products, we can run the Zoom Rooms application, Zoom Rooms for touch on it, and all we need is a USB cable and an HDMI cable connected to that Rally Bar, and that's now a big Zoom Rooms for touch environment. So choice is the theme again. And then if you see below the Zoom logo on this slide, you'll see a Scribe camera. That was the product that was launched yesterday, our whiteboard camera. So all of this, right, is a solution. It's a choice for a customer. It depends on how we want to deploy that option. So let's talk about what is a Zoom Room. A lot of you know this. it's everything we know. HD video, great audio, right? That's a kind of a given. It's easy for everyone to start a meeting, right? It's true, one click to join. I think we've heard that many times. It's easy to share content, right? I push a button on there and I can share content. But there's more to Zoom when it comes to what the platform delivers, what the Zoom Room license enables. And just as a refresher, I want to bring up some key things. So everything on the left, right? Companion whiteboarding, where if I have a Windows-based touch panel, right, with a little backpack computer or a PC stick, I can do Zoom's companion whiteboard, and that is the digital whiteboard within Zoom, right? Then, of course, I have Zoom Rooms for touch. Everything on the right is what comes with Zoom Rooms, and this is where the Zoom community loves to offer because it's an entire platform. It's room scheduling, it's digital signage, it's virtual receptionist, a feature they're offering with today's consideration around COVID. Right, it's workspace management, it's wayfinding. And then, of course, now with the addition of Scribe, it's analog whiteboarding. So the complete solution from Zoom doesn't stop with just the tactical devices that we use to run the call, but it's the software behind it that enables the whole enterprise to roll Zoom Rooms out in every single room. We've had voice control with Zoom for a long time now through Alexa for Business. We were the first to actually have it pre-installed, if you will, on our Intel NUC. You sign up for the Alexa for Business service. Now I can tell Alexa, start my meeting. Now that's embedded in the bars within the Zoom's Android application, right? So any appliance can now have this feature as well. One key feature also is the mobile client functionality. This is really important. Shared surfaces, right? We're all getting comfortable with vaccinations and all that good stuff. But I want to be able to drive my Zoom room from my mobile device. I don't want to touch anything in the room. We have that capability. That's part of the Zoom ecosystem, right? So with mobile control, I can take over the entire Zoom room. And then, of course, desktop client control announced at Zoomtopia coming down the road on their platform. We'll wait to see when that comes about. And then, of course, co-annotation. And the big one, room occupancy, right? So being able to count how many people are in a room, we do that today through our RightSense technology. And to let you know in the Zoom dashboard that this room has more than 6 people in it, right? Because you set those limits within Zoom. Okay, here. So delivering happiness together is the theme. And I hope that everything that you've seen so far kind of resonates with that mantra. One thing I want to do is bring up a bonus integration that you'll find from Logitech. So Zoom has some great interop, right? With WebEx, Skype, Teams, GoToMeeting, BlueJeans, right? Software interop, so I can call somebody or somebody can call into our Zoom meeting. Well, we came out with a product called Logitech Switch, and Switch is a hardware version kind of that. So if I walk into a Zoom room, because I want Zoom rooms everywhere in the organization for continuity, right? For that user experience, I want to plug my laptop in and actually take over the AV in the room, the display, the camera, the microphone, and the speakers. I want those sources mapped to my laptop because I have a FaceTime call with my kid at 2 o'clock. I want to make sure I can use that in-room experience and call them. We can do that now with Logitech Switch. It's a great add-on to any Zoom room that's deployed, Mac or PC, doesn't quite matter. It even works with our new Rally Bar products as well. If you want more information, reach out to Starin and they can give you all the details on it. It's just a great product. And then, of course, what was launched yesterday, Logitech Scribe. We all know that every room has a whiteboard in it, and there's the digital whiteboarding, but then there's that same white wall or that whiteboard that's been in that space. How do I make that an equitable experience? How do I, on a video call, actually talk to somebody, right? I'm drawing on the board and I'm not using the camera that's in the room that's capturing the space. I need a dedicated source. I want to make sure that that whiteboard experience is perfect for those on the other end and those in the room. If we look at the Logitech family of products, it just plugs in and it's seen as a specific whiteboard camera with Zoom, right? So let's go to this. There's a beautiful picture of it. It's very elegant, hides in the space. A lot of the industrial design agencies and a lot of the furniture companies love this product because it fits the motif that's being put in today's spaces. Here's a small, medium, and large environment where you might see a whiteboard and it's off to the side. It's not directly in front of the main camera in the room. So how do we capture that? I love this image because it shares to us or shows to us that if I was in one of those chairs and the woman in the yellow jacket is drawing and I'm looking at her from the back, I'm not able to see what she's drawing. But if I turn my attention to the front of the room, the people on the call and myself in the room can see that drawing happening in real time, right? So it's an inclusive experience for those in the room, but also for those on the far end. This is great. Simple to use, right? So it works with any whiteboard. I mean, again, I brought up painted walls. That's probably the most popular out there, but and there's glass boards out there from really nice furniture companies that make entire walls a whiteboard. You can use it with that. The one touch to share is the key piece with Zoom Room. There's a purple button that comes with every Scribe product. When I press that button and I walk into a room that's not on a Zoom call, Zoom will actually launch and it will put my session up on the big screen in the room. And now I'm ready to add participants to the call. Or again, those sitting in the room can just lean back in their chair and watch me annotate up on the whiteboard. So that purple button is the integration with Zoom Rooms. That's what enables that one touch to start the process. And then of course, if you want to use the tap or the iPad or whatever other controller that might be in the room, I just quickly click share content, I go to the whiteboard, Scribe is there, and I hit start present, right? And then lastly, if I wanted to drive the experience from my mobile device, because we're talking about shared surfaces and I want to not touch anything in the room, I can do the same process from my mobile phone now with Zoom. So it's very, very, very flexible to start and stop an annotation process, if you will, with Scribe. Some of the features that you'll see, because Michele's going to demo this product with us, is things as presenter removal. So as I draw on that whiteboard, you notice on the far left-hand side, the hand is somewhat invisible. It's opaque. I can see through it, right? And then, of course, we're enhancing the content once it's drawn through our AI, meaning we're brightening colors. We're making sure it's very legible on the other end. So when folks see this over video, it's very clear and clean. And then last but not least, sticky note detection. I'm using sticky notes all the time when I ideate, right? People are putting stuff on notes and putting it on the board. We're actually going to highlight that sticky note and highlight the content on it so you can see it. So it's very, very clean, very beautiful experience, and something that a lot of people are, of course, asking us about now that we've launched the product. So with that, I'm going to I know we're wanted lots of time for Q&A, hand it over to Michele, who's actually going to share what this looks like so we can get an experience on the far end.
Thank you very much for that. Let me start sharing my content. The surprise is the whiteboard. Let's move also the camera. So you can see that I'm in Canada. I live in the basement, 7 feet, 6'3", so I'm very close. The camera is very small, and what you see now is exactly what is on my whiteboard. The beauty, what Gino said, I'm in front of the camera. From this camera, you see me, you hear me with my accent, but you don't see, even if you have a very good camera, you don't see really well the whiteboard. Even if you zoom, you don't get that. Scribe has been created with only scope to be the best possible content camera for whiteboard. And let's talk about some features. I brought some code and some formula. I want to highlight that this part of code is very important. You can see that even when I start writing here, and you can see that I'm ghosted, but the most important part of the ghosting is if I stop my hand on top of something. We have the AI inside the camera. I can do even those kind of things. In front of the camera, nothing can be done in this way. And when I get here, the AI understand that is my arm. I can take my sticky note out. I can reposition my sticky note. I can highlight, one of the worst color possible, the green. The green color on camera usually don't pop up. And in this case, I'm writing, you will see that the camera recognizes the color and pop up the color, even if it's not completely good as a marker. The camera knows how to enhance the quality of what is on the whiteboard. And I'm talking to you in front of the whiteboard. You will always get the best. Now, as I said before, we were talking about that. Showing you the ghosting is a kind of show off. You may, if you are in the education in the company, you may not want to have a ghosting all the time. You want to be focusing only on the content. So right now I disable the ghosting using the red color. I'm going here and saying, this is something very important. You don't see my arm. My body part has been eliminated. Even if I put my hand back on the whiteboard, you don't see anything because the AI remove the body part and keep only what is important, the content over there. The camera supports 6x4, and the beauty that you can also choose part of the whiteboard, not all the whiteboard. You may want to have just a part of the whiteboard. And it's so easy. Everything that I do, if I eliminate, see how quick is the AI working, and you don't need anything. And you implement just one cable. It's so simple to install just one cable.
So Michaela, this is awesome. So the cool part is all the AI, all of that functionality you're sharing is actually in the camera. There's no reliance on the Zoom Room platform or anything of that nature, right? We're taking care of all of that. It's just presenting wonderful content through Zoom to eyeballs out there.
Yep. And if I can add, this
Yes.
is fantastic. I love this button. I love this color. I don't want any other color, to be honest. Because when you are in a Zoom room, you click start sharing, click stop sharing. You don't need to teach. A question that come up is, oh, where is the software? You don't care. You click the bottom side of the whiteboard. You click start, you click stop. Nothing else is needed. Now I stop.
That is truly some cool stuff. Because I mean, we've all seen whiteboards, we've all seen whiteboarding, but I kind of like the ghosting thing. I mean, if you're an educator, if you're a teacher, and I've watched with two children of my own home learning how to work, or they're not working from home, but learning from home. It's important for the educator to kind of show the process and point. And if you want to capture their attention, yes, an X appearing magically on a screen is one thing, but you can kind of follow along would be the best way to do it. I'm sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. My bad. So it's very, very interesting. I'm going to open this up for questions. If the audience has any questions, absolutely go ahead and fire away the questions. We do have one up from Kevin. Kevin, does it have anything that will let you save out of content to PDF, image, or OneNote? So what we've talked about is obviously you're writing. How are you saving the material? Thank you, Kevin, for the question. How are you saving the material? Is it being done on the Scribe or via Logitech Magic somewhere else?
Would you like me to take that, Michaela?
Mind, I can take that.
Yeah, maybe I'll add. So real quick, I will give it to you, but on the Zoom world, right? Because I'm Zoom centric, you have the ability to record the entire session, right? I mean, that's how we leverage Zoom. So we would love to see that whole process of that whiteboarding experience captured as a video file, which of course you can save to your desktop or save to the Zoom cloud and then share it outbound, right? So I just wanted to plug that in there before, Michaela, you answer.
No, you're very right. I was going there. I like Zoom, and the recording is perfect because synchronized to quality. So this is a camera. No driver needed. You just need to plug the cable USB in your system. That means you want to use the camera application. So step back. It all depends by the application that you use. If you use Zoom, you can record on everything. If you use the MTR with Microsoft, they can record both. If you have OBS and you want to record the camera and the two cameras for a training purpose, yes, everything works. It's a camera that is visible to any application that you can install on your Mac or PC. So it's up to the application that you are more comfortable with.
Yeah. So within the Zoom system, I know you can do screenshots and stuff like that. So maybe a screenshot of it during a meeting, because that will save it as a JPEG, and then you can obviously send it to people within the chat. That's one way to do it. I think what Kevin was kind of looking for was, where am I going to put a thumb drive, or is there a save button with an email address that we can ship it off to? But it is, like you said, it's a camera. So cameras are in as an endpoint. They're the stream. They're not the. It's very much. I get it. Completely get it.
No, the point is, going back to what Gino said, is an accessory. We enhance data without adding complicated things. We keep it simple as much as possible.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
In the Zoom side too, Chris, it's nice is that it's going down the content channel, right? So we've taken the guesswork out of selecting the camera right in a Zoom room and saying camera number 2 or switch to camera. It's its own little category, right, in the content channel. So the people have their real estate and this whiteboard experience has its state. We had folks that were actually using QuickTime, because you can do screen recording, screen grabs, all that good stuff through QuickTime, and just recording the audio that would come from their little Mac or whatever they're using, right? And the whiteboard session as a video, but also as screen grabs, and then just sending those off as a PNG file if that's how it was saved. So lots of creative ways to use the product as, to your point, a camera,
Yeah, and just as a follow-up, Kevin said it would just be like I made the notes for my class and I can save and download the pictures and the notes. I think that they were looking, you know, what Kevin's going for is traditional stuff where you would have a USB drive kind of saving everything as JPEGs or hitting a button as you move along. But again, this is, it's a side piece. It's a camera that it's attached to Zoom. So unless you're using snapshot type of screen grab type stuff, that's the way to do it. So thank you, Kevin, for the questions. The next question came in from, well, we have an anonymous question that came in. I may have missed it. Which version of USB and what type of connector? Are we talking USB-C? Are we talking about USB 2.0, 3.0? Where are we at?
That's mine. USB 2. The type A connector. So we provide type A connector. You can use any adapter to go type C in case you need. It's just a connector. We support USB 2. The maximum distance for the cable is 30 meters. And type of connectors, yeah, type A on the PC, we use category 5E cable between the camera and no adapter. The camera have a directly category 5E jack down to a power and to the adapter in the back of the computer. Again, USB to type A.
Yeah,
Awesome.
And we do provide the entire chain, right? If you want to add your own category cable, no problem. Just be respectful of those distance limitations, if you will. But yeah, they're nice white category cables. And then to Michele's point, there's a little PoE injector that needs to find a power source along that chain. And then a nice little adapter that we provide that has the A connector and the Ethernet connector on the other end. Plug it in and you're off and running. So.
Sounds great. One note that I forgot to add, and I did post it into the chat with the people that are not aware, the Logitech Roommate will be shipping mid-fall 2021. So that is, I know we kind of said that it would be happening. I want to, you know, kind of preempt that by saying mid-fall 2021 is when to expect the Roommate product, which is not to be announced. I guess it's to be announced, but
It can be announced earlier.
Early.
It's going to be announced earlier. By the time we ship it into the channel,
yep.
I'm more confident with the fall timeframe.
Yeah.
Sounds good. From a personal perspective, is InfoComm 2021 on the schedule for you guys? Will we be seeing these products or these new products at the show?
Yeah, I can answer that. Yes. In fact, I think as we all know, we're driving towards a live show being there. In my team, we just announced we have a 8-person room block. So that means it's happening, physical attendance, which is great. And yes, we will have all of these solutions running, and there'll be some other nice goodies coming about that you'll see at the show as well. So.
Awesome. That's promising. We've been locked in our houses for a while. I want to get outside. I'm in New Jersey. It's rough. I'm not in Florida, Texas, and all those cool places that are allowed out and doing stuff that they can do. Is there anything that we should be aware of? All the products you guys shown are all available or are currently on the market for obviously the Roommate is one that's coming, but all the products are available today. Everything is moving out the doors. You guys are, we all went through a tough time in 2020 with getting stuff, but everything is now back to normal for you guys. Products are out and moving and shipping and all that. And Michael's on mute.
I'm on mute. I was just so yeah, I will take that one. So depending on the product category, we're still short. I mean, we have many more webcams available on our B2B side, our VC webcams. That Starin carries. That's the brown box, 3-year warranty. Higher resolution cameras are available. So we are shipping those. We're still tight on certain headset systems. We call them the H series. That's going to be a problem. Not sure for now that chip is going to be involved, but we're still short on those. We do have a full line of what we call zones wireless headsets and wired headsets that is available. And then we're getting better with our inventory on our meetups and with our tap products and with all of our Rally products. You mentioned, and we mentioned the Rally Bar and the Rally Bar Mini. So that's the new devices. The Rally Bar in graphite is in the channel at distribution, and we're building more inventory to meet the need. The white is a little bit delayed till midsummer. And then the mini will also be in graphite, and white is delayed till mid to end of the summer. So if you're looking for the new Rally Bars, look for the Rally Bar graphite for right now. And then different products we have just depends on the product, because Logitech makes a lot of different products. But based on what we went through COVID in the past year, we're in a much better position as we were. And we're looking for a strong, we call it fiscal 22. Our fiscal starts April, ends in March. We had an amazing FY21, and we're looking to grow it again tremendously in FY22.
I appreciate the transparency. I'm sure the people here obviously are going to be appreciative of that because things have been it's been a very weird year. But
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
we are talking to the company that when the work from home thing hit, you guys were probably one of the more well-known brands to address the work from home situation with the headsets and the obviously a desktop
webcams. I mean, it just is a point of reference. So Logitech as a business in our fiscal FY21 in webcams alone grew 521%. And we're talking a category we're doing $8 to $10 million in, maybe $15 million a year in, right? So we eclipsed close to $100 million worth of revenue in there. Even though we shipped that much, we still lost market share because of just the proliferation of inexpensive, I can't use the word cheap, but inexpensively made webcams that hit the marketplace where we just couldn't fill the pipeline. We are starting to fill the pipeline. So for those resellers out there who sold the inexpensive ones, really, if there's issues, you might really want to come back to Starin and go, okay, we need to get more Logitech because they're not made like ours. We are the market leader and have been the market leader for 15 years in the webcam business. So just giving you a heads up there.
As a former integrator and designer, I need to ask the nerdy questions. From a quality of camera, right? Where are you guys with auto framing and tracking and all that? That seems to be a hot topic for a lot of people that are buying these cameras. They're looking at the better ways of tracking people. Obviously, as people are working from home, even they're getting up and using whiteboards and using different, probably even standing up with stand-up desks. They're active, they're moving. Static cameras are one thing, but where are you guys with the auto framing and kind of like an EPTZ kind of, tracking of folks in that space?
I can answer that, but I have an engineer here who's probably chomping at the bit to answer it because he can give you more details. So, Michele, even though it says Michael Freiburn on you, I'm going to call you Michele.
Absolutely.
So I will give only part of the answer because Gino is the most appropriate for the next vision. But the point is, any of our camera, any meetup camera and app, so the business solution have the software that frame people in the room, whatever it is. We have a very high resolution right now. We are not talking 1990 when I started video communication, that the resolution was very low. So right now we can go 720 to 1080. So framing and everything. When you move, you go to the whiteboard, the camera you have in front of you is not good for the whiteboard. That is, again, our vision. So we give you something that is perfect for the whiteboard so the camera can focus on you as a person. On the other side, there is the voice coverage that is extremely important. So you don't need to talk in that direction. I can talk looking in completely different direction and I pick up in the most clear way. You can hear my fantastic thick accent in full. In vision, yes, the only thing that I can say from my side, and in case Gino can step into, is we are listening. We are listening and we are for the needs of every partner and customer, because partners are important, bring us customer needs. And we are introducing, we will always introduce everything that we can to make things easier.
Yeah. So let me add on to that. So today we have RightSight, right? And RightSight is part of the RightSense family of technologies in our products. And you can enable RightSight on your meetup, on your rally camera, right? On those bars through an application that we use it's free for you to manage these devices called Sync, right? So Sync is our device management tool set. In the world of Zoom, right, there's a lot of great ideas being thrown around about how we need to have these equitable experiences. So RightSight is something that we're just about there to be able to turn off within the Zoom portal, or what we might all call intelligent camera, right? That just says, well, what's the intelligent camera? Well, it's RightSight behind the scenes doing the auto framing. That is getting rid of space that's just not needed because there's 3, 5, 7 people in the room. Let's frame them and let's make sure as they move around, we're able to see that group activity. I think where a lot of this is going is, well, what about taking individual streams from cameras and populating them into a Zoom experience like gallery view, right? That Zoom launched a while ago. So we're working with Zoom on that, but there's another side to it, as Michele brought up. I'm actually now working from the whiteboard. I've turned sideways, and everyone that's looking at each other, right? They're all looking at people in the room, but they're not looking back at me. I'm part of the meeting and they're watching someone on a whiteboard. So the experience is different. So we're looking at it as multiple cameras, right? Which is great for all of us because we get to put more cameras in the room, because it's not always from the front of the room that I need to capture and create that experience. We've done that with RightSight, but how do we now include other cameras in that space so that we can have this very immersive experience, even though I'm just not there? So more to come there. And that, a lot of this will spill down into some of the features of what we call personal devices as well, right? We're talking about kind of conference room or room cameras that are designed for larger spaces. So,
well, I appreciate that. I mean, we know you're on the right track because you're already building AI into your wall camera. So there's absolutely, I can see that it's coming. So it's definitely not an issue there. And I appreciate the multi-camera angles of things, because you're right. It's not a one size fits all solution for many people. And as we see, as the trends are growing, especially on the home side and the work from home side, you have multiple cameras being, I mean, I for one have multiple cameras at any given point on. So unless you're putting in HDMI, kind of a USB or HDMI type switcher, or doing some broadcast production, you're asking a lot from a corporate executive who just needs it to work. And I think you're on the right path with that. So absolutely, that is, it's an interesting take, but not definitely the right take. So we are going to go ahead and wrap it up with some final thoughts before we go ahead and announce our winners. I'll give you the floor, Gino, to wrap it up, and then Michael and Michele, if you guys have anything you guys want to wrap up, and kind of, is there any secret stuff you want to leave with us before we head out of here? I promised I would beat up our manufacturers a little bit to try to get some scoop out of them, but you guys are all tight-lipped recently. I can't get you guys cold.
Yeah, I'll wrap up by saying thank you for having us on this call. As things come about, we love feedback, right? And I think Starin's one of the best at providing that feedback up the chain. Work with your channel managers that are out there supporting a lot of the AV integrators that are on this call. It's great that this webinar happened just after we launched Scribe, because it was going to be interesting on how we were going to seed you with some great ideas with the Scribe product, but it came out. So you got our latest secret because it's out for the world, but hopefully you know a little bit more to educate your end users. So thanks again.
Awesome, guys. Now, tell a friend, please, because we have a live demo here in case people question what those images were that they were seeing on the internet of people's hands being ghosted. You actually know the reason why they're kind of faint behind it now. Go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying thank you to everybody as well. Nothing important.
On my side, what I can ask is, don't be afraid to ask questions to us. Don't be afraid. We are listening. We are eager to listen. And the technical question, please come. I'm here for you.
There you go. Well, we have to announce the winners of the special prize that was provided to us. We were provided some Brio Ultra HD Pros from the good people at Logitech, and we have two winners where producer Mark has now spun the wheel of fortune, and the winners' names are Elizabeth Chavez and Kevin Crouch. You both have won the Brio Ultra HD Pro Business Webcam. Thank you all. I know there was a question that came in from Stephen. Stephen wanted to know what camera, mic, and lighting I'm using. Man, that is an entire webinar that I can host for you on my own. My stuff is top secret. Actually, it's not top secret, but I will gladly tell you that offline, and what kind of cool things I'm doing. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors and a lot of magic that I do. A lot of filters, man, a lot of filters. But anyway, thank you all for joining us. It is the May Town Hall, but again, we don't stop and we just keep on chugging along. In June, we will be joined by PTZ Optics. PTZ Optics will be joining us and telling us about some latest and greatest things. Interesting thing about PTZ Optics, they put on a great show, because you probably have the people from Stream Geeks that will jump in and be part of that demonstration, which is kind of it's a show unto itself. So join us next month when PTZ Optics joins the conversation and talks about their products. And let me see here. Oh, we do have a last minute question. You guys want to answer one more question before we get out? Kevin, the winner of the Logitech Brio camera, asks, how tightly are the Zoom rooms dependent on specific hardware? Can you set up a random extra PC you have around as a Zoom room?
Yeah, I'll answer that. So the Zoom has a verified compute, right? So 2 sticks of 4 gigs of RAM, all, basically everything, what kind of processor type is needed. So there's a great resource. Just go to support.zoom.us, look up verified PCs or verified, and you'll get a list of those. It is very, very simple. I think and that goes back to kind of the legacy Zoom rooms that we've seen. I mean, Zoom was built on build your Zoom room, right? If you're a Mac shop, if you're a PC shop, go for it. Then the appliances came about. So if you have one, just make sure that you're able to keep up with that application. That's why we spec our NUC the right way, so that it runs that application in the right way. Dual screen, right? Want to make sure we can do that. Multiple cameras, all of that good stuff. So just make sure the PC hits their spec, and they have a really nice spec listed on their website. So.
Sounds great. Well, again, thank you, Gino. Thank you, Michele. Thank you, Michael, for joining us. This has been the May Town Hall. My name's Chris Neto. I can't even pronounce my name at this point because it's been one of those days. I am a market development manager at Starin. Thank you all for joining us, and I will see you next month at the June Town Hall. Please look for it. We will be publishing that information very soon. Once again, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the May Town Hall.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.